there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.
Hey guys, welcome back once again to Niagara Fire Corals. Make sure you stick around because today I'm going to show you how to take all of this and turn it into this. A powerful food that's going to take care of feeding all your inverts, fish, and coral. Stick around. Let's go.
Go, 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 yeah, go, go. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go, go.
Alright guys, so I thought I'd start out by just going over what I'm going to use today. Now these ingredients obviously can vary depending on what you want to do. But to start with, you're obviously going to need what you see there, a food processor. Do yourself a favor and save yourself a lot of headaches. Don't use your food processor you would use in your own kitchen. I purchased this one a few years ago off of Marketplace or Kijiji or something like that for like $10 or $20. It's all you need. Pick up one that you're going to use just for this project. You're going to need some like containers like this to put this stuff in as we're breaking it down, and then I'll go over some of the stuff that we're going to be using. So this is one of the ingredients I'm going to be putting in. These are squid tubes. Now everything that I'm going to show you that I've purchased is all raw and uncooked. I don't buy anything that's been seasoned or cooked, so just buy raw and uncooked. So these are squid tubes. We'll be using them. This is a seafood mix. Big bag of it. It's got a lot of mussels, different ingredients in here. To be honest with you, I didn't even look at all the ingredients that are in here. It's just the seafood mix. I always look for one of these. It's going to give you multiple different things. Of course, I always buy a big bag of raw shrimp. And I always put in some tuna. This is fresh frozen tuna, uncooked. Everything, like I said, is uncooked. And then I purchased some of the haikiri. This is the big jumbo mysis shrimp. These ones here I will run through the processor just because I don't know if I can get this to focus, but these are really big, and a lot of the fish in that probably would struggle to eat it. I know I have some fish in my system that'll eat them, but I will run these through the processor as well. And then I have another package, which are the regular size mysis. These ones here, I will just mix into everything else. I'm not going to run these ones through the processor. And that's it for kind of the frozen foods that I'm going to run through the processor. And then on top of that, you know, I'm going to mix in coral spirits, Min-S, zooplankton, aquaforest aminos, aquaforest vitality, courtesy of Cultured by Science. I still have the majority of a bottle of phytoplankton that'll be mixed in. I do mix in a bunch of pellets as well, so these pellets will go in. Coral dust, a bag of Reefroids, and I cut into small pieces the Julian Sprung's seaweeds, the purple and the green. So that's everything that's going to go into this mix. As you can see, guys, that's a huge variety, and it's going to take care of feeding everything in your tank, and it's going to make it easy for you to maintain nutrient levels in your tank. So now that you guys know what's going into this, I'm going to get things set up and we'll get right into making our power food. All right guys, we're just about ready to get going. I just wanted to show you these trays here. The reason I use these is, you can see I took them apart. One thing I can't stress enough, when we run this stuff through the food processor, it's frozen. So this lower tray here, I'm gonna fill up with a bunch of ice or ice packs, and then I will set this one on top. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna help keep everything really cold and slow down the thawing process, because what we don't want is to end up with a huge pile of mush. So have yourself 2 trays, one to hold ice or ice packs, and the one that you're going to be putting everything that comes out of the food processor in. Okay, so just a little tip there. All right guys, we're ready to get going here. Just before I put the lid on and get started, just wanted to show you, these are the blades we're cutting with. They are, you know, similar to a cheese grater. These are what's going to be up, and that's what we're cutting with. All right, so I threw some of that sheet of the big myosis in here. You know, I had to chunk up the tuna as well, it wouldn't fit. And I'm just gonna push this through. It's gonna be a little loud. I'll turn it on, push it through just so you guys can kind of see. And then I'll go ahead and I'll start running everything through the processor. You can see it goes through fairly quickly, starts breaking everything down into small pieces. So I'm just going to start feeding some more into this real quick, and then I'll come back to you guys. Alright guys, so I've done, you know, maybe a bag and a half worth of some of that frozen food. See here, this is what it looks like coming out of the food processor. Nice fine pieces. There's the processor. And I'm gonna just carry on and continue breaking this down, and then I'll show you the next step once we have everything through the processor. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes it took me to to break this all down with the food processor, but here it all is. I've put it now into a bigger bin, and I'm just making sure I'm mixing it all so everything's going to get a little bit. So we'll get a little bit of everything into every package. And then we're going to start adding the rest of the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients. And then we'll mix it up again. And we'll be all done. I'll show you guys how I package it up. All right. So Fido. Just dump all this Fido in here. This stuff all gets soaked right up into the mixture. Bottle of coral dust. Just spread that out over the whole thing. Get the coral spirits. We're just going to pour all that in there as well. Got some chunks in here, but it's okay. Pellet food. Remember guys, this is feeding the whole tank. A bottle of zooplankton. Bottle of Min S. This stuff stinks horribly. I usually use a whole 75-gram bag of Reef roids. This is a 150-gram bag. It's all I have at the moment, so you know, I'll just put in about that much. Then we're going to put in the amino mix. Put 1, 2, 3 drops. No, I'm just kidding, guys. Whole bottle. Whole bottle. The AF Aquaforest Vitality. Whole bottle. And last but not least, we're going to cut these up. So I'll go ahead and do that, get those in there, and then I'll come back to you. Alright guys, there it is. That's the full mixture. That's what I'm mixing up today. And again, you don't have to put in exactly what I'm putting in. You put in whatever you want to be your own. You know, use the foods you like to use. And when you feed this to the tank, it's going to take care of feeding everything in your tank. And it's just an awesome, I call it my power food. I've been using this for years. The whole reason I'm making this batch right now is because that bag I showed you at the beginning of what you're going to end up with after putting this all together, that is my last bag from the last batch I made, which was approximately 3 years ago. So the stuff lasts, and you know, it's a lot cheaper than buying everything all individually, you know, in the little cube packages and feeding. So we got this mixed up pretty good now. So we'll go on to the next step. I'll show you how I package it, and it works. The way I package it works. I don't end up with freezer burn or any issues worrying about it lasting, because like I said, the last batch was 3 years old, and it was still perfectly fine. All right, so I'm gonna get that stuff ready to go, and I'll bring you guys back in for a closer look and show you. All right, so I got my vacuum sealer out, and I've pre-cut these. You can see I've already sealed one edge, and the other side here opens up, if I can get it, right there. And we're gonna put our food in there, and then we're gonna seal that side. So we'll get into doing that right now. Now this batch I'm vacuum sealing, but I will tell you the last batch I did not. I used Ziploc bags, but I just I made sure that there was no air in them when I did it. All right, so we've got everything all packaged up now, ready to go in the freezer. I ended up with a partial pack at the very end. But this is what they look like, guys. All right, that's, you know, they're big packages. You want to flatten them out so it's fairly uniform. And just do that with every one as you go. And put them in your freezer and open them up as you need them. So that batch we just did, I got, what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the partial, so almost 11 of those. And you know, like I said, you can see that these are good sized packages. For me, it works great. That'll last me quite a while, and it's worth it. You know, it's money savings wise, you're probably not saving a lot of money. However, you're getting a much wider variety of food in the package. So if you were to go out and just keep buying packages of mysis shrimp, price comparison to doing this, you'd probably be fairly close to the same. However, this, as you can see, has everything except the kitchen sink in it. So you're putting a broader variety of food into your tank rather than just a single food like mysis shrimp. That's why I do it. You know, what I just did here was a couple $100 to do this. For me, it's worth it. I have 3 systems I feed. If you only have one, you know, split it with a friend. 2 or 3 of you put the money together and do this, and you know, each of you take like 4 or 5 packages, and you guys will be good. So let's go take a look. I kept a little bit on the spoon. We're gonna let the fish tell us if they like it. I'm gonna throw some in the tank and we'll see how the fish like it. All right, guys, we're down here at the 270, and I've got a spoonful of the food here, and we're gonna stick it in the tank and we'll see how these guys like it. Well, I would say that they like it just fine. That's gonna feed everything in the tank, guys. And everybody's gonna be thankful that you did it for them. We'll throw a little bit of here in the frag system as well. And there's just a little bit left on the spoon, so we'll give it to the clowns here in this tank. There we go. There you have it, guys. That's how you make your homemade power food for your reef tank, your inverts, your fish, your corals. That's how I do it. And just remember, you don't have to use exactly what I use. Throw in all your favorite foods and make yourself a batch today. That's it, guys. Until the next time, make sure you take care and happy reefing.